Second night in a row. Yeah, gas prices, I calculated, up 31% in the last couple weeks. It's crazy. 31% in New York. So in the last few weeks, up a dollar. That's crazy. I don't know. This economy ain't so robust. Something's got to give. It's not enough out there. It's just you and me, Nico. Oh, blame the Shah. There he is, beep. There he is. Chill. Nico. Mad Guru's in the house again. All right, we got the crew from yesterday. That's good. Oh, handsome Hanson. There's about like 16 comps left. The Shah needs to replace the Ayatollah. Yeah, man, it's unsustainable. I don't know what we're gonna do. Time for a horse and buggy. Everything's going good, brother. Yeah, I calculated it before. I was like, wait a second, because I saw it was 419, and I think 2 weeks ago it was 319. So it's a 31.35% increase. Beep. The troops. Where will they be sent in? Where? Which troops? Um, Nico said actually bought a pack of Pall Malls instead of Belmonts. Yeah, non-premium. They're all trash, but yeah, that's trash too. See, that's the thing with the futures, the whole trading thing. Chill said that lots of people made money on the oil futures. When the whole economy is built on gambling, it's pretty bad. You could bet on water now, you know that, right? You're drinking water. Did a lot of you guys know you could actually bet on water? Will U.S. soldiers go over there? Um, I don't know. I think this is another money grab, but that's just my opinion. Nico, I don't believe that, Nico. Poly market's a disgrace. Yeah, gambling AI, Chill said. Yeah, Guru, you could go on the futures trading and you could actually bet the commodities. So you could bet on anything like water, wheat, um, gold, silver, all that. Oil futures. You're betting on the future price of what it's going to be. Commodity trading, it's called. If that's true, Nico, and if they deployed troops over there in Iraq, like you said, Iraq, they went there for a different reason, if that's true. I didn't see nothing about it. Emil said this generation and lifestyle is very unserious. What do you mean by that? Real deal. Serious giggling like a little schoolgirl in a chit chat room. How about the fact I ate my content creator? That was good. See, the thing is, Kyle, with these futures trading, somebody knows. You know what I mean? There's always somebody that knows. No, I don't believe that, Nico. You can't just fly somewhere and use Google Maps and shit and get it wrong. That's impossible. You got controllers in this, talking to you, telling you they see where you're going. You're on it's satellite. Yeah, the whole poly market thing. So people use it. They'll just make a strict bet, or they'll use it to arbitrage. They'll bet on one site and then they'll go on another site and they'll make the difference. So before 2008, there was a lot of people handling all the, it's called high frequency trading. And then after the whole '08 crisis, they started with the algorithms. So most 99% of the trades that go in is all algorithms. 1% is actually in the market, or 2%, something like that. No, I don't. I can't see a plane using WhatsApp for in Google Maps. Poly market's disturbing. Yes. Um, Let me try to reword some of this stuff. Before poly market had something, right? Before the elections and the last one, the news said one party was landslide winning. And then this guy I know that came back from a certain place in the world, he already knew 3 months before that. He said, no, it's guaranteed. This guy's going to win. So he knew already from a different country somehow. He makes jewelry. The '87 crash was bad. Uh, it's a cycle. It's cyclical. It happens all the time. You had the '87 one. In my era, the '99, the dot-com bubble crash. Then you had the '08 crash. Then the 2020 crash. But during, what was it, 2022 was bad too, but it wasn't a huge crash. But now you got the whole AI bubble. So they had that app Sora. It was an AI company. I think they went bankrupt, and then I think OpenAI took it over because they have Sora too now. Yeah, Kyle says we see a 30 to 35% pullback this year, possibly. I'm thinking, let's see, it's almost April. I'll say I'm going to make a prediction during like around the summertime, if not late August to early September, we'll see that 20% haircut. That's my prediction. Who we kidding? You're Sir King serious? You'd be head moderator. Mike said he put a bunch of money into Bitcoin because legit think dollar is going to lose lots of value in a few months. Let me tell you something. Whether it's the dollar, because the dollar is the petrol dollar. You got Bitcoin, right? Where did Bitcoin come from? Do you guys know? How many times did I watch a show from start to finish? I don't even know. Over 30 times. Now, don't get me wrong, people, the point of Bitcoin was to use it, you know, as a currency. People are using it now for it to make money. Nobody buys a dollar to make, like, oh, all right, it's going to go up. The dollar's going to go up. So is it a currency or is it an asset? Bitcoin was created in 2000 and I believe 9. It was right after the '08 crisis. Nobody knows who it came from. They think there's some guy, Satoshi, whatever. Yeah, it came in 2008, right? That was during when the crash was happening. Because you didn't feel the full effects of it in '08. You felt it like it delays. No, I know a lot about Bitcoin. I would trade it all the time. Um, it's not about what the price is; it's how much satoshis are in it. It's you know, it's hard to explain right now. But if I had my computer in front of me, I could show you. I'll make a video one day about the satoshis. Like it could be, for example, let's say Bitcoin was $100 for an example, but it only had like 5,000 satoshis. And then one day it could be $200 with uh, less satoshis. It's weird. It's weird how Bitcoin works. I got rid of all my Bitcoin. I don't believe in it. I don't invest in what I don't believe in. So even if it was, I would have been a millionaire, billionaire. But yeah, that's all gone. The government treats it as an asset because whatever you make off the Bitcoin, let's say you buy a Bitcoin last year and it goes up and you sell it before the year, you're paying 40% in taxes in America, at least, because they treat it as like owning a house. Did I mess up, Nico? I had hundreds of Bitcoin. Hundreds. But I had it in 2008. I had it in 2009, 2010. I had hundreds of them. We would trade them to do other things. Who would have known, Let's see, 10. I wouldn't have held it for 16 years, 18 years. If I bought it for $1, I might have sold it for $20. Who's going to hold it thinking it's going to $100,000? That's the point, You don't know how high something's going to go. Yeah, but it doesn't bother me because there's always other opportunities. If you let stuff like that bother you, it's over for you. I sleep good at night. Don't worry. Sell a profit only, ride the rest. Um, it's good to diversify, you know. I like gold. Gold's a good opportunity always. Nico, there's an opportunity every single day in the market that pays just as much as what Bitcoin did. There's 1,000% moves every single day in the market, 10,000% moves. Every single day, Monday through Friday in the stock market, you'll always get a day where there's 1,000% day. They're all over the place. You just got to study and find them and get lucky. Risk management, too. You need a lot of risk management. So, Mike said, problem with the market is you won't know unless you're a politician or his donor. That's the thing. There's a lot of the people, there's some shady stuff that you could see. Any price predictions on the video? Well, there's a few AI companies that already went bankrupt, so I don't know. Unless they, they'll make money off the chip shortages and all that other stuff. Um, they're not going to be a complete wipeout, but I feel like they're going to lose big time, at least 30%. That's my prediction. These trading is you have to have a hard stomach for commodity trading because you could bet a few $100, you could be up a few $1,000 in seconds. If you're not quick enough, you could lose that thousand in seconds plus more. You got to be really quick with that. And you got to be staring at the screen the whole time, the charts. When I trade, there's the S&P 500. If I'm trading options or whatever on the S&P, I'm looking at two charts. I'm looking at the volatility and I'm looking at the SPX. Yeah, trying to time the market, forget it. Uh, Mathematically, you lose money trying to time it. If you just dollar cost average long term, that makes more money than you trying to time every drop. Yeah, when there's fear, there's opportunity. Yeah, now's a little different though. I'm not gonna lie, Dave. Now's a little different because you got the percentages on the loans are higher. Borrowing money's higher right now, so there's not a lot of risky stuff to do right now. It's not worth it in certain cases because if you're shorting the market, for example, you need to borrow money to do that shorting. You're paying percentages on that money. So if you want to buy a house, the rates are high. Not as high as they were, but they're still, there's a lot of risk right now. There was a guy, Guru, that program something that followed sports. The guy put data in every single player of every, I believe it was the NBA. I don't even know. He might have even did football. Did you guys hear about that? Every single day he'd watch every single game. He made an algorithm thingy for every single guy, what they do at halftime, when they get tired, all of that. And he used to know the outcome of every game. And then I think, yeah, the bookmakers caught on to it, and then they would do something, and then he would change up his formula. I think he winded up like the bookmakers now do the same shit. That's why I think I stay away from sports. You usually see the spreads are so close. You know, sometimes you'll lose because of a point, half a point. Interest rates were 15% in the 80s, yes, but you could also go to the bank and get the loan quick. Now, forget about it. Two people could afford a house back in that day. Dave says AI will make everything algorithmic. Agentic traders. No, no. Look, I was using what they throw the word AI around. AI is artificial intelligence. I was using AI software in 2011 in college. There was already written programs so similar to ChatGPT, uh, and everything I used to type into it, it would take everything from the web, and it would give me all the answers for college. So, if that was in 2011, there was no ChatGPT. The program just pulled everything that was on the web, same as ChatGPT does. If you search ChatGPT or Grok, you're going to start seeing searching. It'll be like searching Reddit, searching Google, searching this and that. Now it's pulling. So in 2026, it's doing the same thing, but it's doing it faster, and it's just grabbing everything. A lot. That's why a lot of the stuff is wrong now. Oh, it's not AI. It's a everything you're typing in to all these AIs, right? You, they got now they're going to store that in its algorithm. Like go on chat. Somebody, if you're on your phone listening to me right now, go on your computer for a minute. Type in Sirius. Watch what it tells you about me. Yeah, everything is data mining now. They're actually opening a big data center around here. Somebody do that for me. Go type my name into ChatGPT, Sirius. Just put who's Sirius and watch what it tells you. Right now, the big money is in cloud. They're making money off cloud, you know, storage. Everybody needs storage. Your phone runs out of space, you're going to want storage. Google got storage. Microsoft got storage. That's big money. That's not going anywhere. There's always people that's going to need storage. Unless you're me, I buy the actual hard drives and I store them on there. I'll buy bunch of terabytes because I want to hold on to my stuff. I don't want the cloud and have it compromised. Yeah, Microsoft's one of the biggest cloud people. You got Google, um, Amazon's cloud. Yeah, the market's definitely cooled down this year. Kyle Beep said ChatGPT says you're a niche YouTuber who specializes in Sopranos videos. Tell it to give you a deeper lore about me. It might mention Borko. It might mention a few other people. It pulls it off the YouTube comment section. It pulls it off Reddit. Get a little deeper into it, Beep. It'll show you more stuff. It's hilarious. If ChatGPT described you, that means you told it all it needs to know about you, and now it's got you. No, if I've seen it mentions Borko when you type me in too, and you ask more details, you'll see his name in that too. Beep said Grok's more reliable than ChatGPT. Hell no. Hell to the no. Not even close. Grok. I tested all three. I tested Gemini. I tested Grok, and I tested ChatGPT. I tested a few other low name ones, but right now OpenAI does have the most stuff. Grok will get it shit from like you got Twitter, and then it searches the web also. You can make your own. You know that it's not that hard. Gemini. I like Gemini. The only thing with Gemini for me that the genres that I like the crime genres and stuff, it'll fluff it up to where I can't ask it certain things. It'll be like, oh, you know, something about violence. But ChatGPT, won't say that. It'll give me the straight up. David said Gemini will be number one. I mean, Google right now is number one. Hey, there's New Good. Have I used Claude for scripts? No, I write my own scripts. Everything that you see me say, I read it, read it, see? I wrote it, and sometimes my English, I wasn't good in English class. So all I'll do is I'll take a program and tell it to make whatever words, that I messed up on, fix it for me. There's a certain site. I don't type it into the AI because then the AI will have everything I typed. Yeah, David Billion said you could clone yourself and automate videos on a second channel with NAN. It's crazy too. So there's this software where I didn't do it, but I've cloned voices like as a joke, And that's actually pretty creepy. It will clone your voice, and you don't even have to talk anymore. You could just write your stuff. You'll think it's me talking, and it'll be an AI talking, but with my voice. I wouldn't do that, but I'm just saying it's definitely possible. Yeah, billion. Yeah, yeah. I don't want to give them my. I mean, they have it now. But I'm just saying. 11 Labs. They're not the best cloner. I found better cloners, but 11 Labs is up there. If you notice on YouTube, you see a lot of these guys that do the AI documentaries, they'll use 11 Labs with a ChatGPT script. I have the voice of the linchpin of Bensonhurst. Nah, there is so many tools out there for the lazy. Yeah, well, is he saying I sound like Monteglio right now? Nico, what do you mean? So why clone your own voice and read a script? No, I write my own scripts, and then I put, if I mess up on a sentence because I want to talk proper, I'll make it proper. But I'm not going to type it into a chat GPT. I use a regular thing that spell checks everything. Mid 30s. Nico said he's working on AI agents that get jobs and collect their paychecks. He thinks he could do it fully remote coding jobs. I mean, if you're one of the best coders, when you're doing something, remember there's somebody else doing something at the same time. So the hustle never ends. You got to be better than them. North Korea is already on that. I'm working on a database as we speak. I'm just figuring out a few things. I'm working on my own database with an algorithm, and it's going to pull stuff that I want. I also need a hardware thing where I got to make something pull from the hardware into the database somehow. I'm figuring it all out. No, I got a couple people that's, you know, helping me with the database thingy. Basically, I want the database to recognize a few things, and I need a piece of hardware. Think of I'll give you an example, like a remote control, for example, where if I press a certain button, it's going to do a certain thing for me. It pulls the data, it puts it into the program. Now I have a database, but I manually have to type in everything. And once I get it big enough, I could sell it to a data company. I can't do that yet, Billion. Maybe soon. Yeah, if you're not in the Discord, whoever's not in, come in. We don't have any databases in there, though. I don't do nothing in there with the info. You can't. I wouldn't anyway. I'm working on something else. It's a side project. Oh, Guru, yeah. Guru, I wanted to talk to you. I know you're smart. My whole problem with this thing I'm trying to create is the hardware part. The software part should be easy. So I'm probably going to be using Python, and I'm going to need Raspberry Pi, and I got to figure out how to do it all because there's obviously got to be sensors involved. I'm definitely going to need sensors. And Kyle's like, shh, high level. Um, Beep, I have a theory about this whole Satoshi. I don't believe he ever existed. It's a tech convention. Oh, you're familiar with all of it, Guru? Damn. I will definitely hit you up. There's Rare Form in the building. Well, Hanson, if you want to know something, just ask us. We'll try and help you out. Who benefits from Bitcoin? Beep said. You got people at arbitrage. You have companies like Coinbase making a fee for every time you trade and sell. Those are the people that are benefiting from it. And the whales. If you know what a whale is, it's the people that have a lot of it. Miners don't benefit as much as the. You have Binance, you have Coinbase, you got Robinhood. All these things, they charge fees. So back in the day, if you wanted to buy a stock, it could be one stock you were paying like $10 just to see the guy. Now you have your app, you could buy it, and instead of paying the $10, I was paying, let's see, 67 cents per trade. And then if it was a contract, it was a little more. So now millions of trades a day, way more than millions of trades, billions of trades per day. Think about how much money. Basically, there's a lot of people making money off of it. Yeah, rare. You could sit back and listen, use this info, your long range planning. Did CDC pick a bad name or what? I don't know, Nico. Put a beat on, Nico. So I have a theory. All right. It's a little down the rabbit hole with this one. And it's a little conspiracy theory bullshit. I don't know. I have a feeling, you know, someone high up made that shit. And they want to sell the idea that, oh, the dollar is going to be useless. So if the whole, if you have over 50% of people saying the dollar is going to be useless, let's switch to Bitcoin and this and that, then the dollar eventually would be useless. You already got, credit cards and all this shit, your debit card. Who carries cash anymore? Yeah, I'm Italian. Devin said, guys, today they want to be buried with the cryptocurrency. Only had 50 Bitcoin, but sold it when the price was 50K. That's not bad. You did good. So I think that because I read a book, right? And the book said, it was a Freemason book. First, they wanted to start with the euro. And then they did. They started the euro. And I know Italy had the lira. Once they switched to euro, it did not benefit them at all. I'll tell you that. You notice Britain, they still got the pound. They don't have the euro. My favorite conspiracy theories. Let me think about that. My favorite conspiracy theories. A lot of the things I thought were conspiracy theories turned out to be real. It used to be aliens, but I don't believe in that anymore. I don't think there's aliens in another galaxy type shit. There's no aliens. DB, they proved that one. I mean, there was more than one pop. Therefore, Rare Form said we didn't land on the moon. I agree with him. The MK Ultra shit, I don't know. The only thing I think, um, so your body's made of, water and electricity mostly. So can, radio waves and shit change your thinking process? Probably. Yeah, Kyle, I saw some of the stuff on that. It's freaky. It's freaky. Flat Earth? No. I don't think it's flat. It's not completely round. I think it's like, like what a potato is, something like that. But it ain't flat. The Challenger explosion, that might have been real. Devin said they use sound waves to clip enemies. The Havana syndrome. I gotta read up on that. I didn't see that one. Um, I think Pearl Harbor was a similar situation to '01. The David Icke stuff. I got to. I thought that Jim Carrey stuff was fake. I thought he was like doing something different. No, that was like a joke or something. No, what I'm saying is Pearl Harbor. I feel like was a one situation. No one wanted to go to war. Everyone was anti-war. The only way to get them out of the anti-war mindset, in my opinion, would the only way to do it would be that. The U.S. lost in a lot of wars. They got annihilated in Vietnam. What was the only one they beat was what? The British and Mexico. The Korean War they lost. They only beat the British and Mexico. Gulf War. Gulf War. Uh, I feel like most of the wars were lost. Mob conspiracies. Well, the one I heard was the whole. Obviously, it was the JFK thing, and then supposedly one of the conspiracies was they drugged Marilyn Monroe. Something in her drink or something. I don't know. She knew too much, supposedly. That was one of the theories. Iraq, they didn't lose in Iraq. The objective wasn't lost. The soldiers that came back were defeated because they didn't get the proper mental health care. Well, so Kyle said they lost in '91, but not in '03. '03, they had a different agenda and they carried it out. I I have people that came back from that. Um, I don't know if I could talk about that, but they were all messed up after that. The soldiers were defeated, but the mission was accomplished, but the soldiers were defeated. So I count that as a loss because the only thing they gained is what? You had the oil, you had the plants they were guarding. Don't forget that they were guarding those plants. You see that in Mexico. So Guru said, as a centrist, that there's a reason we Swiss tend to stay away from these conflicts. Yeah, and you're talking about like Switzerland. I know in Switzerland, what you need 2 years in the military to live there, right? Yeah, they needed those plants, the plants and the oil. They needed it. Yeah, Switzerland. So Switzerland has a big advantage over a lot of geographically. Plus, they have a whole system to where it's like a crazy system where they can make certain things fall down, and the way the architecturally built, it's crazy. No one will ever mess with Switzerland. I don't think you could win. It reminds me of if you saw Game of Thrones, the Veil. Littlefinger wanted the Veil because in the Veil, 1,000 men could beat 100,000 men just because of the geographics. Yeah, Swiss cheese, Swiss chocolate. Yeah, Guru. When I saw Game of Thrones and I saw the Veil, I automatically thought of Switzerland when Littlefinger said 1,000 men. I was like, all right, this kind of sounds like some Switzerland type stuff because I read up a lot on Switzerland. Now, everybody in Switzerland, you got to be in the You got to join the military. 2 years. They said the same thing about Afghanistan technology, geographical advantage. Most of the banks and stuff are Switzerland. Yeah, South Korea too. You got the mandatory military service, 4 years. They guard the walls to the North Korean side. Beep said similar to Scotland, the reason the Romans didn't conquer us the way they did England is because of the hills and remoteness in the highlands. Same with the United States, the Civil War, the North versus South. The North had more high. They were more high up. They had the mountains. Iran is on mountains too, yeah. Hey, Rowan. We were talking about all the wars that happened. Geography. Switzerland. Having mountains and also being an island is a big help for defense. Absolutely. China too has a lot of mountains. There's certain spots you can't like leave. It's hard. There's no roads. China's China's got crazy geography. Rare form, they're not. Uh, they they can't reach us. Don't worry about it, Nico. You don't got to worry about that. Oh, did I check out the video yet? Not yet. I actually forgot about it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was busy earlier, so I was going to watch it, and then I'm like, I put my phone away, and then I just forgot. But I will watch it. Yeah, Guru, the biggest thing the States has is the ocean. That's the biggest thing. You got all the pathways to everything. Never forget the USS Liberty. Lots of parking meters in Iraq. Iran, I mean. Nico said him chatting and laughing at comments reminds him of AJ. That one, my memory needs to be refreshed on that one because I don't remember that one. The Liberty, 1956. Oh, okay, Kyle. Yeah, so Guru, that's true. But I do have a feeling that was, I don't know if that happened. I don't know if that really, really happened. That's one conspiracy. Devin said the Philadelphia experiment, an entire ship of people. You got to refresh my memory on that one too. Yeah, Pearl Harbor, I feel like was the same thing as O1. The only way to go to the Middle East was O1 to do all that. Kyle said the Philadelphia experiment is where they tested a cloaking device on a Navy ship. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that one. Devin said they claimed they made a warship disappearing and some of the men were like welded into the ship. I gotta look at it. Nico, I have to say O1. If I say something else, it's a problem. Don't you know how to talk in code words? David Copperfield over here. Operation Praying Mantis. Which one was that? Of course it is, Nico. What do you think this is over here? Operation Northwoods? I'll look into it. Rare Form said the three different versions of that. Yeah, we got his president, including his favorite tall one. So I saw the one where it looked like the guy had a mask on. That was weird. Don't forget, we were talking about AI earlier. You don't know if it's who's what talking to you. It could be anybody. And they'll say it's this one person when it's not. Guru said when Iran hit American boats near the strait. No, I don't know nothing about that. Billion said, did I ever see Gandolfini's gravestone? No, I didn't go over there. All right, Kyle, I'll catch you on the next one, brother. The Americans gave a proportional response. I got to look into that. Definitely link me to that one later on. Oh, yeah. Nico's right. They always are 10 to 20 years ahead. The internet was first born in 1969, and they didn't really start using it till 80 something. Did I ever go to Sopranos Con, David? No. 10 to 20 years might be modest, Rare Form says. Yeah, they had crazy aircrafts. You know when you used to watch about UFOs? Those were all just regular airplanes, crazy aircraft, silent aircrafts. Chill, bro. Said, can't we all just get along? But it'll never fucking happen. Skinwalker Ranch. You gotta tell me more about that, DB. Skinwalker Ranch. Nico said no military in the world can detect the B-52. Now they can. Billion, my answer is none. What's the Skinwalker Ranch? I might need a link to that too. Where was that located? I know they used to test a lot, and they probably still do in New Mexico and Nevada. The desert areas or parts of the ocean, they do the testings. Oh, okay, I get you. New Mexico or Arizona. Yeah, all those desert spots is where they do their testing. Mad Guru said the F-15 is still one of the finest pieces of aircraft by the military. I agree. The F-15 is a beautiful object. Nico said the F-14 Tomcat. Oh yeah, the Bohemian Grove, Raform said was crazy also. I heard about the Bohemian. I watched a few documentaries on that. Yeah, I saw a long video on that. That was a while ago. I think I saw one in probably around 2008 or something like that. I don't want to ask ChatGPT anything. What was I in the army? No, I didn't. I didn't want to ever go to war for this. Guru said the F-22 is supposed to be better than the F-15, but the problem is that it never gets to stretch its wings. That is a problem. They have ones now. They're remote controlled. A lot of them now. Devin, guys today they want to be buried in their ChatGPT app. Nico, when am I gonna send you another couple verses, and then you send me back a song? Oh, Guru said the F-22 can be remote controlled. That's crazy. If that's true, what do you guys think about Joe Rogan? He is the top podcaster in the world. What do you guys think about him? Let me see rare for him. I talked about it, the Bohemian. Chill said Joe is rich and maybe compromised, but he's a cool guy. You think he's compromised? I know his earlier stuff, he used to talk about some cool stuff, but lately, I can't watch him anymore. I don't know why. Well, now doesn't he release one on YouTube every time? That was the deal. It goes on Spotify first, and then he could put it on YouTube after. Everyone is influenced in some way, but yeah, he avoids the Epstein stuff, for example. See, I haven't watched him in about. I would say it's about a year now that I haven't seen a Rogan episode. So I'm pretty shocked that he didn't mention any of that. Even his MMA analysis has gone down. Wow. He's not on the fence anymore, Billion said. He's out of the Republican closet. Guru said 50% of the time he's okay, the other 50 he's drinking that Coca-Cola. He's back now but lost the fire, Billion said. About the Knicks. I don't watch sports anymore. It's compromised. Yeah, I think that maybe that he's so big that he just can't stir up some drama, maybe. Only Elon could do that. Every sport's compromised. Rare form, I think that he just says these kinds of things because he wants people to keep listening. Like, I know if I was on a podcast and I could say anything I wanted, probably I'd be hated by 70% of the world. Not the world, but I would say the US and Europe, 70% I'd be hated. Oh, good one. Guru said, "What's my opinion on Neil deGrasse Tyson?" So there's a thing with whether you're doing things involving, he's an astrophysicist. They get into stuff. There's books involved. When there's books involved and documentaries involved and all that type of stuff, there's a certain level of biasness where they can't go against what the books and the schools and stuff already taught them, because then all those books are irrelevant. They can't sell those books anymore. So I think he's just there for entertainment. I think a lot of the stuff he says is bullshit. Yeah, he's Ugats. Barco sent you. There was this thing I read earlier. It was about quantum physics, right? And quantum physics says that it's impossible to touch an object. Did anyone ever read anything about that lately? That quantum physics says if you can't, it's impossible to touch an object. Yeah, two things never touch. What do you think about that? The, the atomic particles repel. I don't know. I'm touching something right now. I feel it. I see my finger touching the steering wheel. But it says it's two atoms, you know. I don't know. Quantum physics is weird. Humans go off sensory experiences, rare form says. So Guru said at the atomic level it's theoretically true, but practically it's false. See, that's the thing about quantum physics. It's weird like that. Because I'm touching something, you know, I'm touching things right now. I don't, I find physics interesting. It's a question, where does the answer even matter? I mean, I feel like if you could figure out certain, like look at Einstein. So Einstein, you know, time, you have certain perspectives, right, with the time. So let's say, have any of you ever, for example, time slowed down at a crucial moment and then you were able to get out of something because it was slow motion? Guru said it was his favorite subject in college behind his major. Yeah, man. I know you love that stuff. I do too. Yeah, time is relative, 369. This new administration is more creative than Spielberg. Third time in a row now. We agree. No looting the Americans. First of all, that hasn't been established. Second of all, this is how you handle it. When you get into the theoretical side of physics, it gets more fun. Guru, me and you gotta sit down and talk one day. Or you gotta come on here sometime. I do rare form. No, when there's certain like a fight or flight, there was one time this idiot was driving. I was in the passenger seat, and he's doing like 70 miles an hour. And I just saw the crash coming way before it came. And then it turned into slow motion where I was able to, I moved my legs, my knees in a certain position to where I didn't get hurt because I saw it coming. It was like all slow motion. Yeah, the time zone stuff. I gotta try and do one way earlier because I know. Uh, well, what time it is, Guru? What time is it right now with you? Human adrenaline is one of the most underrated things out there. It's not completely explained. Rare Form says it's a natural painkiller. Well, all animals adrenaline. If you watch National Geographics, you see a lion go attack a zebra. You ain't gonna see the zebra crying much because the adrenaline's kicking in. Oh, 3-6 said him and his boy were on the phone. We stopped and I maneuvered at 95. There was 0 inches left to not crash into the wall. Somehow time slowed and we stopped. That's crazy. Anything's possible. Yeah, adrenochrome. It's funny. I named this one. Gas prices went up 31%. We're talking about physics. We went from gas prices to mafia to physics, conspiracy theories. Oh yeah, the crypto. We were talking about the crypto. AI. We were talking about advanced physics. Yeah, man. A lot of money in that shit. We got a group of deep thinkers here, not limited to anything. That's right. We need more than 10 people in here, though, at a time. I think the most I had at once was 80. That, it's the time I go on, that's why. This crew is educated. As a reference to Allen Iverson, we talking physics, man. Allen Iverson was a beast. One visit to a serious live stream and you think you're Lee Iacocca. 3-6, we'll get it. Some people in here. Yeah, we'll do that. You guys are funny, man. I haven't seen Joey in a little bit. I wonder if he went back to FLA. 10 good men can accomplish more than 1,000 divided. They say it only takes 3% to conquer 97%. That's what I heard. Mindful plays a lot of chess. I play chess. I'm not good at it. Guru kicked my ass. I gotta be relaxed to play chess. Like if I played chess right now, I'll lose. You gotta get me at like noon or something. Chinese checkers, I never played it. I saw it, but I never played it. Yeah, chess is one of my favorites. There's this other game too. It's a board game type deal. It's called Blockus. Did anyone ever hear of Blockus? Blokkys, I believe it's called Blockus. Yeah, I'm always down for chess. So Blockus is a game where you have it's a four-player game. You could play with three people. You can't play with two. You each person gets 21 pieces. So there's it's all the whole board is squares. And the goal of the game, like it's like Tetris looking like pieces. And you have at the end you want to be the one with the least pieces. And you have to block them from like it's you got to look it up. It's interesting. It's kind of like I would say it's just as competitive as like a chess game because every piece, it's always going to be different. But it's a good game. It's a fun game. I just played it recently. It was interesting. 3-6. You never learned chess. You gotta look up some tutorials on chess. It's one of the most beautiful games created, I think. Just like The Wire, all the pieces matter. You got to think 5, 10 steps ahead. You got to think what they're thinking. It's a crazy, it's a hard game. We got Mad Guru in here. He kicks ass in chess. Guru said he heard that Uno is being introduced in the casinos now. I didn't hear about that. They probably rig it somehow. Yeah, chess is a war strategy game, 100%. Yeah, I learned chess pretty young. 11, I think I was. I'm still not too good. I mean, I could always get better. Yeah, I don't know what the rule set would be, Guru. That's tough. I hear that 3-6, brother. Will I be doing daily live streams? Not every day, but I'll figure some stuff out. I don't do them on the weekends. Um, and I got to try and do one earlier in the day because right now it's 11 at night. I got to do some early ones where we get a different crowd because a lot of the people that watch my shit are sleeping. Sudoku, but it's different. I never played that one. Yeah, I got a couple of ideas for new videos soon. I'm still waiting for Pete. We got some mob stuff to talk about. Some stuff happened in Canada. There's a lot of stuff going on. I got to talk to Johnny. We got to talk about the stuff going on in Mexico. Yeah, it's 8 in Cali, 8 in Mexico, 8 in Canada, some parts. Oh yeah, Guru, the physical therapy. Has that been helping? Clownin said, "Have I ever reached out to Vince Caratola? I talked to him a few times, but on Twitter, X, I talked to him. I know what you meant. You didn't even have to explain it. But yeah, I talked to him a couple times. He actually, if you want to talk to him on a video call and shit, he charges you. I wouldn't pay to talk to him. Oh, April 1st? Sorry, brother. Yeah. April, and then Easter's on the 5th, I think, right? 5th to the 6th this year. I still can't believe that happened, Guru. At first, I thought you were joking because of the whole Brother Mazone thing when Omar said that shit, but I can't believe that happened, bro. Yeah, gas went up 319. It's 419, so like over 31%. Yeah, 3-6. We were talking earlier how I feel like August, September we'll see something. The game is the game, Guru. Always. We know that. When the going get tough, the tough get going. Yeah, Mad Guru is one of the toughest guys I know. That was funny when Ralphie's like, "My, I'm better with numbers than 9/10 the accountant." Then Johnny's like, he went over the books with the Esplanade, the Fernandez paving. Is Ralph more creative than Spielberg? Then the next scene, Ralph's like, it turns out you're right. So Johnny was better with the numbers. Ralph didn't know anything with his accountants. Joey Pants is hilarious. He's getting up there, but he's hilarious. Last thing I seen him in was Dexter. He was in Original Sin. He played like an ex mafia, whatever. He was only in one episode, but he was good. Yeah, 3-6. You could bet on anything. It's been a while. It's been like 20. It's at least 6 years now. I think that you could bet on water. Yeah, that's no good for people like us though, because then water goes up, and then they're screwed. I knew a guy up by Toad Hill. I don't even know what the hell happened to him. This kid Paulie. He used to do all that. He taught me in like 2013, 2014. I wonder if he's still around, man. I forget his fucking last name. Not G, something else. I don't remember. His father was a multi-millionaire. He had $100 million contracts. At one point, I think he had a $300 million contract. Three six said any new Sopranos remakes coming? Uh, Not that I know of. I wanted to try and remake some stuff, but that's gonna take me a while. I know there's a movie. Pete Davidson's gonna be in some shit with. I forget who he's playing. Does anyone know? Pete Davidson's playing somebody. One of the mobsters. Yeah, I don't know. Banano. I appreciate that 3-6, brother. Yeah, that shit takes a long time to do. Wait, he's gonna be Banano? I thought I thought he was possibly gonna be like the Chin or something. I thought it was a possibility, maybe the Chin Gigante. I gotta look it up after this. Plus, whenever Pete comes around, we gotta talk about that. Yeah, there has to be a movie about the Chin. Well, he was in. They made him in one of the movies. No, that was it him. They made somebody else do it. I forget the movie or whatever with Frank Costello, but the Chin did that. All right, clown, and yeah, I'll see you on the Discord. Yeah, 3-6 said he was one of a kind guy. I'll never see another one like the Chin. Just like Gotti Senior, both opposites. Yeah, you won't see guys like them. Uh, you won't see a guy like Joey, Skinny Joey. He's a stand-up guy. They don't make them like that anymore. You got Joey left. That's it. Yeah, I did a live stream about that right after it came out, where it was like, there is no mob. And he was like, it was hilarious. Patrick Bet David did good, but he couldn't penetrate uh, anything Skinny Joey was saying. Yep, that's Joey in a nutshell. But he came out with something recently. Him and Prince Miller, they were talking about jail time when they were in prison. That was a good one. That was better than the Patrick Bet David interview. They didn't talk about mob stuff. They didn't talk about any of that. They just talked about rats in jail. Joey was basically being himself. He was like more free. It was just two guys shooting the shit about prison. Joey said he's trying to get Vic Arena out of prison. Bunch of other guys he's trying to get out. Yeah, Pat could have pressed him as hard as he wanted. Joey wasn't going to say anything. Yeah, they put him in jail for placing a bet. They did him dirty. But he never ratted. That's how they are in Philly. That they don't. There's a lot of guys like him in Philly. It's their code over there. New York, not so much. Yeah, I think 2 or 3 years or something like that for a bet. That's crazy. I wonder if it was some type of terms where, which is still stupid. But I don't know. The Fed. I don't know how. I didn't read the full thing on why, like how. What law did he break? I didn't look into that with the whole betting thing. I'm gonna head off here in 2 minutes, fellas. I'll be in the Discord for like an hour, 40 minutes. We'll talk in there for a little bit, and then I gotta head to bed. Um, oh, Chance to our new boss, Sirius. Salute. Chance, you in the Discord? I think we got over. We have like 1,050 people, something like that. In all fairness, from Joey's POV, he watched his father and family get destroyed by rats. His life, too. How much jail did he do? He did 22 years. He paid the price for being on the street. But he got RICO'd for the same thing twice. He went to. So they made up some bullshit for him. So it was a little different. Because they didn't catch him really on anything. It was just rats. The rats get the benefit, even if it's bullshit. So he got done dirty. He probably shouldn't have did that much time. He beat all the cases. So that's true, Devin. What Devin said is the truth. Yeah, 3-6. You're already in there. I know that, right? And Chill said he thought it was weird how much Rico was a part of Batman: The Dark Knight. Um, why don't I remember that part? I think because I'm tired. But I'm gonna head off, fellas. Yeah, we got over 1,050 something people in there, so plus we stream on there, so yeah, come check it out. And I'll see you boys in there. Take care, fellas. 3-6. I'll see you in there. Peace.